Week 10, Packers versus Steelers. Pittsburgh is favored by 3 points. This is a tough one. I'm going to take Green Bay. Both of these teams have shown, some really good signs and then some really bad signs. One of the things I would point out is, as I'm looking at this, is Pittsburgh has been finding a way to win. Okay, even though they're overall statistically not a very good team, they're finding ways to win. And meanwhile, the Packers are a mediocre team. Whereas when I come over and I look at these raw numbers here, is it would lead you to believe that Pittsburgh is a poor team that's been finding a way to win. Whereas all the way around, this would suggest to me that Green Bay is a mediocre team that has been finding ways to lose more times than not. Numerically, virtually even. If we come up here to the top, when we come over to the box plot, again, virtually identical. You see a little bit some more upward outliers there. But again, they're outliers. Wouldn't really put too much faith in that. When I come over to the Bayesian, it's pretty much telling me about the same thing that all the numbers do. Uh, that the model is slightly underestimated both of the teams, and in those conditions, Green Bay has a very slight advantage to win. So with that, I would go ahead and look at it and say the 3 point spread that they're given to Pittsburgh is likely due to the home field advantage. I don't really like using that, and I don't think that there's anything more favorable at Green Bay, or I'm sorry, at Pittsburgh that's going to make it, weather, things along those lines. So I don't see a discernible advantage other than just that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the performance charts. As you kind of go through and look at this, they look pretty darn similar. Notice that there's a discernibly better projected running game, just given the matchups. Pittsburgh traditionally has a very good running game, uh, and this year it has not materialized. Although I think in the last few games it has been. One thing that stands out to me here is I see a whole lot of potential for outliers there, which tells me that there's an awful lot of inconsistency here with how both the offenses and the defenses play. When I come over here to the right, uh, both teams look pretty similar when it comes to protecting the quarterback. Pittsburgh having a little harder time doing so. Likewise, seeing some interceptions, but on both teams, seeing some interceptions on both teams. More consistent interceptions being thrown by Green Bay. That's never a good prescription to win. Fumbles haven't been a problem. And when it comes to explosiveness, it looks like you get a little bit more of that upward trend from Green Bay. Green Bay looked good against Rams. Now, granted, I don't know if the Rams are just really not doing well with Matthew Stafford. So who knows if that dominating win that they had this last week is really them, or if they just had a weak opponent. And then Pittsburgh, again, like I said, they've won most of the games despite not being all that good. So we'll kind of see what team shows up. With that, all things are pointing to these teams being pretty closely matched. Statistically, wins and losses, Pittsburgh is definitely better, but they're finding ways to win. So you have that again. This is kind of a hard game to match to pan out because you have a team that is winning despite not really. They're finding ways to win. That's a good quality to have, but at some point in time, you have to wonder at what point are they going to miss. Then you have another team that is mediocre. They're young and they've been finding ways to lose. So again, uh, not sure it'll be a real fun game to watch, but it could. So if you're fans of either one of these teams, have fun. If you like what you listen to, like and subscribe. And if you got a question, drop me a note.